So we're in Clovis, California. We just finished installing a existing garbage disposal. Badger, can't see it, it's around the back. Take a look. Hopefully, so it's a Badger 5. Sounds like a half horse. And that's existing, so the flange, that's existing. It's reinstalled by me. And then of course they purchased a oil rub bronze flange for the top. And then of course the mounting bracket is old. So we put that in and reinstalled it. That's good. Reinstalled the garbage disposal. It's got a little cap on it right there because there's no dishwasher hooked up to it. And I'd imagine they knocked the plug out. So that's reinstalled. The old waste was up higher. You can see it sitting right here. So it was sitting up higher, and so the bottom of the disposal, by the way, new sink was installed, and so the disposal is sitting toward the back instead of the center of the sink. And so it was hitting the waste, and so they tried to rework this fitting right here. You can see the sanitary tee was glued close to 1.5 inch 22, and then of course the P-trap close to that. So they cut it off and then tried to peel the plastic out and ran into trouble, which happens to me, happens to everybody. And so they called me out to see what we could do. What we've done here is we've just repiped everything. We took and the copper tubing that's down there, we pushed it out a little bit so we could cut the 2-inch waste down low. We went ahead and put a brand new 2-inch test tee in there and a 2-inch raised plug, and then a brand new 2 by 1.5 by 1.5 sanitary tee right there. And then we went ahead and made a transition. We had a little adapter sitting right there. Cord's in the way, but little adapter that takes us from the Schedule 40 pipe to the tubular pipe. So just a little short piece, and then the adapter. Brand new tubular P-trap sitting right there. Brand new tubular extension. That's the existing arm that was on the disposal. So we don't warrant the disposal. It's not our product. Don't know what's happening with that plug. I would at least go grab a little hose clamp and put it on there and clamp it on, just, you know, for insurance purposes, just to make sure it's sealed on there if that plug is knocked out. We do warrant the flange that's mounted, the oil rub bronze flange that's up top in the sink, from leaking. So we installed that, put new putty in, tightened it down. It's not our mounting bracket, it's not our flange, but we tightened it down. So you get any water leaking out of there, give us a holler, we'll come out and tighten this thing up, take care of it for you. But we don't like reinstalling used products, but this is what the homeowner has. So everything's tied back in. Got that sanitary tee, and then of course the loop, the high loop that was installed previously, that's back in. Just a coupling there and a coupling there and a high loop. So those glued joints, this is a vent only. I'd imagine if the house backed up 36 inches above the floor, it would drain down into the vent side, but that's a vent only. It's a foot vent, and so that's good. Everything in here is installed, and then of course they've got this sink top switch, so it's plugged into the non-switch side. This switch goes to this outlet, and the bottom one is hardwired all the time. So I guess you could flop it and turn the switch on, wouldn't matter, as long as you got power to here and the switch works up top. Anyways, we've run a lot of water down here. Everything looks good. Keep an eye on this raised plug down here. Make sure that, you know, as water goes by, it doesn't begin to weep at all. Any weeping, give us a holler. Weeping means leaking, but not leaking like drip, 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 but just barely, you know, water coming out, or even leaking, whatever. Any water down here, give us a holler. Outside of your installation, which is the copper, we haven't done anything with. That's your supply lines, your shut-off valves, your supply line, your shut-off valve, your copper tubing out of the ground, your vent pipe from there to the coupling, and then of course below that sanitary tee, it's your pipe. So nothing below the cabinet is ours. We just warrant the new installation. So tubular piping, tubular extension over to existing arm. We don't warrant that. If it starts leaking right there, that's not ours. So I mean, it's easily replaced. You know, this all comes apart. You can take it from here. Any trouble with this in the future, you've got so many nuts on here. It's nutted there, 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 there. It all comes apart, and then you just replace the gasket, even put a new arm in there if you want. So that's good. Anyways, so it's all tightened down. Everything looks good. Outside of that, this installation is done.